The girl was worried when she saw the fat on her stomach. Even when breathing in hard, it couldn't be hidden. She wanted to find some slimming clothes to cover it up, either too tight, too fat, or just split. The girl casually chooses one of the dresses to attend the banquet. However, more embarrassment was yet to come. Friends who hadn't seen her for a long time thought she was pregnant when they saw her. The girl did not care about this at all. She had a big appetite and couldn't stop eating the delicious food. It was unbearable for her boyfriend to watch her devour all this food. He broke up with her and humiliated her by saying, "You are so fat, no one would like you." It turned out that the girl was very thin before, but she couldn't stop eating and eventually became a 200-pound fat girl. Facing her boyfriend's digest, May sadly hid in her bestie's house and began to overeat. May was depressed every day. Eventually, her best friend couldn't bear to watch her like this. Her best friend told her to pull it together if she wanted to get her ex-boyfriend back. As long as May becomes thin and beautiful, her ex-boyfriend will immediately reappear. An idea suddenly dawned on the girl, so she decided on a new goal, which is to lose 30 pounds in a month so that her ex-boyfriend regrets it. But losing weight is not so easy, so she first went to the gym. But after only 2 leg lifts, she got tired. Then she practiced yoga, and in a few seconds, she got tired again. So she starts running, and she got dizzy after just a few steps. Once she weighed, not only did not lose weight, but gained weight. So, May gave up her exercising and started taking shortcuts. She smeared slimming cream all over her stomach and wrapped it in plastic. Soon after, May was hungry again. She secretly opened the refrigerator and took everything she could eat. And just like that, the weight loss plan failed. So May began to fast, only drink water when hungry. When she saw the cake on the table at work, she couldn't help it. She took the cake and cried while eating it. It seems that perseverance alone is not enough, so May joined a weight loss class. At this time, a fat man named Jerry suggested that 2 people work together to supervise each other to lose weight. May thought his proposal was good and decided to team up with him. On the first run, May was full of energy and ran fast, but she only lasted for 30 seconds before she was out of breath. The second time, she ran for a full minute. With Jerry's constant encouragement, May ran longer and longer. From the half marathon to the full marathon, she didn't stop until exhaustion. Not only that, but she strictly counted calories every day, eating only vegetables and refusing to eat meat. Just like this, May successfully lost 30 pounds in a month. The next step is to find the ex-boyfriend. By the pool, a hot-bodied, beautiful girl walked over. The ex-boyfriend's eyes went straight to her. No one could have imagined that a month ago she was a 200-pound fat girl. She tried so hard to lose weight just to make the man in front of her regret it. Sure enough, the ex-boyfriend immediately complimented and pursued her, which made May very happy, and they played together in the pool. At this moment, a beautiful woman even hotter than her came over. It turned out to be the ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. May was completely heartbroken. She thought she could win back her ex-boyfriend's heart by losing weight, but who knew that the ex-boyfriend had a new lover? May went to Jerry and cried. During the conversation, Jerry learned that May was a child of a single-parent family and her father abandoned her very early. Jerry guessed that May must have lacked fatherly love, so she couldn't let go of her ex-boyfriend. If you want May to let go and be free, her father is the key. So May found her father, but the meeting didn't go well. At this time, the father had remarried. At the dinner table, the father and daughter talked about each other and had nothing in common. In order to end the awkward chat, May began to talk about the past. She took out the coat that her father had always worn for dancing and said she had kept it for a long time. But her father had long stopped dancing. As far as her father can remember, his only memory is May gave him the middle finger. May was helpless. Her father's love, which had been missing for a long time, could not easily be replaced. But May did not give up. To please her father, May used his sauna when the weather was hot, but accidentally burned the house down. Her father was furious and didn't care whether May was burned or not, and even called May a debt collector. The sad May went to her best friend to complain, but learned that her best friend was leaving tomorrow. She asked her best friend to stay for her, but this time her best friend was completely angry. For May's sake, the best friend holed off again and again, dealing with all kinds of problems for her every day. But who will deal with her own problems? In a fit of rage, her best friend kicked May out. Her life, which hadn't been improving, was once again at a low point. Thought everything would be better if she became thinner, but didn't expect to get more and more worse. So May went to a bar to get drunk, but was targeted by several men. May frantically ran as fast as she could into a rice field and fell asleep. At this time, 3 harvesters came slowly towards her. Because of the blind spot, the driver did not see May. In imminent danger, a man rushed over to May and saved her. The man is May's stepfather. He hands May a water bottle. May took a drink with a lingering fear. The next second, she spitted it out. It turned out to be alcohol. May asked him, "Who drinks wine as water?" Her stepfather said it was necessary for work. In life, sometimes all you see is the outside appearance, not necessarily the real side. This sentence hit May's heart. May opened up to her stepfather and told him about her current situation. It turned out that one day ago, her ex-boyfriend came back to make up with her. This made May very happy, and she immediately slept with her ex-boyfriend. Afterwards, May's ex-boyfriend abandons her again. May was so sad that she went to Jerry's and cried, but Jerry already knew all this, which made him very disappointed in May. Jerry took out a rotten apple and mocked May. "You are just like this apple," he said. "You are beautiful on the outside, but behind, you have lost yourself." After that, Jerry left. For a while, May seemed to have been abandoned by the world. May's stepfather's words gave her a lot of warmth. It was also the first time she had talked to her stepfather for so long. It turned out that May never agreed to her mother's remarriage. This time, May finally accepted him. Her mother kissed May deeply, and May realized how selfish she had been. Later, she went to her best friend's house to beg for forgiveness, saying that she would not be so willful in the future. Her best friend finally smiled because she knew May had grown up and she could leave with confidence. May, who found herself, not only saved her friendship but also brought her good luck. That day, May's father came to her wearing the clothes she had gave him. Just for his daughter, he danced her favorite dance. This time, May gave a thumbs up and father and daughter made up. Now, May has one last thing left to do. She went to the playground to look for Jerry, only to find Jerry quitting the game. May rushed up towards him with a slap, then poured her heart out. Thanks to Jerry's encouragement, she lost weight successfully. She learned to love herself. Now she wants to help Jerry find himself. After speaking, she pulled Jerry to the starting line. Life is too short to give up. The misfortune of life is not the imperfection of one's figure and appearance, but the inability to face yourself as you really are. Let's live for ourselves and be ourselves.